Hey everybody, my name is Jay Hyam and I am so excited to welcome you guys to this week's C3 Students Online. If this is your first time joining us, welcome. We're glad that you're here and we're really glad that you're taking a few minutes to check us out, and we hope that you would stay with us and watch this video all the way through to the end because we've got some really great stuff for you. For everyone else, it is good to have you with us again tonight. Let me do this. Let's jump into some announcements because we've got a great game lined up. KDB is here to lead us tonight in week 3 of our series. So there's a lot of good things we want to get to, but let me start off by first bringing to you some quick announcements. Last week we announced that we are doing something a little different, something a little new. It's always been my practice to try to visit the local sports things that are happening at the school or whatever activities you might be involved in. But with the COVID restrictions this year, we haven't been able to attend any of your school functions. Last week we announced that we are looking to do what we're calling a fall activities celebration. And what that is, it's a chance for us just to kind of recognize everyone who's been involved in some sort of school activity or sport or club, and kind of just honor you guys for your past season. And so we would really like to hear from you. We have set up a page on the website where you can go, fill out a very short form, and then submit up to 5 pictures that we will then use for that slideshow. Hope you take a few minutes, share with us what you did this fall, send us your pictures, and we'd love to celebrate your accomplishments this past season with you. So go ahead and do that. The second thing to kind of just bring to you is more of a reminder and kind of like an invitation, and that is that C3 Church is online. We are currently not meeting in person. Instead, we are streaming live each Sunday morning. And so we would love to invite you to come and join us by watching this live streamed service. And you can do that by going to the church website at c3wheeling.com. You'll click on the link for streaming, and you can watch live from our website, or you can visit us on Facebook. Just look up C3 or Covenant Community Church on Facebook, and then on Sunday morning there'll be a link there for you to watch our services live. So I've already said tonight that here we are, C3 students, we're online, but we are also planning to be online next Tuesday as well. So make sure that you go ahead and reserve some time next Tuesday night to come and join us here online. We will probably be on YouTube again next week. We're not really sure how long we're going to be online. It really all just kind of depends on what the schools do. If there's any possibility that we can get back to in-person small groups, we will do that. But for the time being, as long as the school is doing virtual schooling, we too will be virtual. Now, I say that because I want to encourage you guys. I know you're doing a lot of time online, you're doing a lot of Zoom calling, you're sitting in classes, we get that. But we are really trying to make this time with you fun and engaging. And we're going to be trying a couple different things here to kind of feel some new content, some new ideas out to see how they go. And so we really hope you'll give us a chance and at least come and watch us over these next couple weeks. If we're going to be here long term, we'll figure out a way to make it really exciting. But in the short term, just come and be with us here at C3 Students Online. Now, I mentioned about our small groups, and our hope is that soon we will be able to return to our in-person small groups. But along with our in-person small groups, we are looking to start an online small group, or maybe 2 online small groups. We realize and totally understand that not everybody can make it to our in-person small groups when they take place. And some of you are very willing to jump online with us. You've demonstrated that over the last couple of weeks. And so what we want to do is, because we don't want to leave anybody out, we are looking to start some online small groups. These are basically the same type of community that you would experience in an in-person small group. We're hoping to bring to the virtual world and create these online small group opportunities. If that is something that you are interested in or something that you would be wanting to participate with, just go to the website and click on the link for online small groups, and you can sign up for that, and we'll make sure we put you in a small group, and you'll get all the same notifications that we do every week for all of the other small group gatherings. All right, tonight we are doing week 3 of our series, Anthem. We've been slowly moving through some different topics and some different chapters from the book of Psalms. And tonight we get to move into week 3, and we're really excited because Katie's going to be here tonight, and she's going to be the one that's going to lead you in tonight's discussion, and it's really good. And I think you guys are really going to enjoy Katie coming and bringing you the word tonight. But here's one thing I want to kind of plant in your head now, because we have these big ideas that go with each week. Big ideas are just kind of a way for us to remember the point of our time together. And the big idea for this week is this, that we worship even when it's difficult. That we can worship even when it's difficult. And like I said, Katie has a great message for you guys tonight, so make sure you stick around and you plug in and listen to the things that she's going to share with you, because I think it'll really encourage and help you. Okay, that's coming up in a few minutes. Right now, however, we are going to switch gears and we are going to play tonight's game. All right, everybody, tonight's game is called Totally Turkey Trivia. Try saying that 3 or 4 times fast. Totally Turkey Trivia. As I'm going to put 10 statements or questions on the screen, and you have to try to answer them. So now there's no multiple choice, there's no hints or clues, so you're going to have to actually try to think about what the answer might be, because it is trivia. But here's the deal. You have until 9 p.m. on Wednesday evening to submit your answer to the 10 statements or questions that we are going to put on the screen. What that means is we're actually giving you a chance to look up the possible answers so that you have the best opportunity to win tonight's prize. You have until Wednesday, 9 p.m. to submit your answers. How do I submit an answer? Oh, it's super easy. While the game is playing, you're going to want to try to write down your answers on a piece of paper. And then you're going to take a quick picture of that piece of paper with all of the answers and your name, and you're going to send it to my email. And I'm going to put the email on the bottom of the screen. Okay? And you're going to send it to there. And you have until tomorrow night, Wednesday, 9 to get your answer in. All right. I can't make it any easier for you. Got a great gift card we're going to send to somebody. So let's get into the game. This is Totally Turkey Trivia. Let's play. Have fun. I'll see you on the other side. everybody, that was a great game, and hopefully you did pretty well. If not, you do have some time to Google your answers. We're going to allow that, but make sure you have them written down, and make sure you have your name on the paper, and then make sure you submit it to me on my email. Again, I'll put it right down here on the screen, right there. All right, send it to me by 9 o'clock Wednesday night, and we're going to make another video, and we'll share the answer on Thursday. All right, guys, we have a real treat for you guys. I am so excited about this. We have been wanting to do this for a while now. We actually had plans for something similar to happen a number of times, but this has been a crazy year. But I'm so excited because tonight you get to hear from one of our leaders. Yep, tonight we welcome Katie Bizanovich. She has spent some time going through the materials for tonight's message, and she has really put together a really good a good lesson for you guys, a good message that I'm so excited that you guys have the chance to hear this. So without any further ado, it's Anthem Week 3. We already said what the big idea was, but guys, let's jump into this and let's hear from Katie, and I'll catch you guys right at the end when she's all finished. All right, here's Katie.
Hey guys, it's Katie, and welcome to week 3 of our series Anthem. This whole month we are talking about worship and music and the way that we can use that to connect with God and with each other. So here's a question to get us started for today. What is a song that you just can't get out of your head? Whether you heard it on a movie that you watched or a TV show, or even just on the radio, or your favorite artist came out with a brand new album and all you do is sing and hum to yourself. Or what about TikTok? Because we all know we've been sucked into that app. I tried so hard not to get sucked in, but I did. And I'll just be cleaning the house or playing with my dog, and I will start singing TikTok songs to myself, and you don't even realize that these songs that we hear, whether it's a CD or a movie or whatever that may be, it's stuck in our brain. Here's a couple examples. Really, any Disney movie when there's a sad song. I mean, I'm still not over The Lion King when Mufasa, he died, and I'm still not over it. I still cannot watch that movie because it makes me so sad. And that's just the power of music. Think about the Avengers. I don't want to spoil anything, but if you guys haven't seen the most recent movies, there's this scene where we think all hope is lost, and the music and the whole way that the scene was filmed in general wraps the audience up and makes us feel so sorrowful, and we feel what the characters are feeling. We feel kind of hopeless. We get sucked into that. And it's the same way with that music, that we can kind of suck ourselves in or allow ourselves to open up and feel these things about God. Music fits pretty much any situation and all of our emotions. I know when I'm sad and feeling kind of down, sometimes I'll put on music that kind of fits my mood and I'll let myself wallow a little bit. But then there's some days where I'm having a crappy day and I'm like, no, we are not doing this. And I'll put on my favorite music of all time and I'll just start dancing around, and it instantly lifts my mood. Or maybe you guys have a sporting event that you're getting ready for. Obviously you're going to turn on music that gets you pumped up and gets you ready to do whatever that event is. We have the same thing when it comes to connecting with God and getting excited about it. The things that made us sad as kids probably aren't the same things that make us sad now. I mean, when you're 5 years old and you drop your ice cream cone and it's just all over the cement and you get upset. I would be upset. I mean, I'm 25 and I'd still probably cry about it. But some things that happen to you as a kid probably aren't going to affect you as a teenager or an adult. The older we get, the kind of sadness that we feel by dropping our ice cream cone or breaking a new toy or a new gadget, the older we get, that kind of sadness is replaced with a different kind of sadness that can linger. But we're not always great at dealing with sadness, are we? We can use anger, frustration, callousness towards others to hide our anger. We think that if we allow ourselves to feel sad or pain or weak, that makes us weak. that we're not strong, that we can't overcome whatever the situation is. A lot of the time, we just let this feeling overwhelm us because we don't know how to deal with big feelings like that. We don't know what to do when we experience such strong pain or sadness and grief. And I can tell you, for me personally, like I've not had the easiest life. I'm sure no one's life is perfect. And I've experienced a lot of sadness. I've experienced grief and lament in a way that I never thought I would, and in a way that I was never prepared for. You could have never prepared me for what I was going to experience. If you guys don't know, I'm 25 and I was adopted. I was born in Russia, and I was, obviously I was adopted, I just said that, but I was brought over to the US to my family when I was like a year and a half old. So my grandma had lost her husband a month before I was to arrive to the US, to my family. And so she was obviously experiencing lament and this terrible grief at the same time that my family was supposed to get this new baby, this big blessing. And in a way, well, there was no in a way, we were sent to one another. We were meant to find one another. So when I lost her 3 years ago, that was the most unexpected, gut-wrenching, heart-breaking experience of my life. That was lament. That was, no one could have prepared me for it. I walked into a room and I expected to see her sitting in her rocking chair doing a crossword puzzle, and that's not what I saw. And I could see it right now. I could tell you, like I'm there right now, that the second I walked in there, the weight of the world was on my chest, in my entire being. I lost everything. And I spent the next 8 hours, 10 hours, just, I was overwhelmed. I was in that space where we don't know what to do with these big feelings, and it's just there. I spent a year and a half kind of recovering, and it took me about a year and a half to get back on my feet. I had stopped going to school. I was in college. I spent a whole year, the rest of that year I should say, didn't go to college. I didn't go to work. I couldn't function. I didn't know what to do with these big feelings. And it took me a year and a half to be able to even talk about her and our memories and our life together without just crying from it. But little by little over that year and a half, and especially in the 3 years now, almost 4, that she's been gone, my faith has, it's not that it was gone before, but I wasn't as into it, and I didn't look to it to heal me at that time, and I didn't look to it to sort of lead my life. And so when I lost her, I wasn't angry at God. I didn't stray away from my faith or anything like that. I actually kind of cling to it. In those times of great sadness and grief and pain, God's there. The Bible is full of stories and scriptures about people needing Jesus, reaching out, questioning their faith, questioning why these things are happening, and basically letting us know, like, that's okay. Not everything's going to be perfect. And for the last couple weeks, we've been talking about the book of Psalms and how people use those to connect with God and connect with Jesus. And there's so many instances in there, like I said, that people, they're not just happy songs and not just praise. There's a lot of Psalms in there that people are dealing with some hard stuff. Psalm 55 is a good example. Verses 1 through 8 read, "Listen to my prayer, O God. Do not ignore my plea. Hear me and answer me. My thoughts trouble me, and I am distraught at the voice of the enemy, at the stares of the wicked. For they bring down suffering upon me, and revel me in their anger. My heart is in anguish within me. The terrors of death assail me. Fear and trembling have beset me. Horror has overwhelmed me. I said, oh, that I had the wings of a dove. I would fly away and be at rest. I would flee far away and stay in the desert. I would hurry to my place of shelter, far from the tempest and the storm. The writer of this psalm obviously isn't happy. Obviously, the psalmist is in distress. He's reaching out to God saying, I'm not okay with this injustice. I'm not okay with this grief. I'm not okay. I need you. And this and many others, they show us that our lament makes our worship honest. Lament makes us look for hope that we cannot see. We know it's there. It's gotta be. We're looking to Jesus. We're looking to worship. We're looking for it. So we know it's there somewhere. If you guys haven't read Psalm 22, I encourage you guys to sit down and read it. When Jesus was betrayed and beaten and left to die, he repeated the words in this song, and he shows us clearly, honestly, that even the one that we think would never question God, would never wonder why certain things are happening or need to know, we never think Jesus would need that. He knows everything. But he shows us that even him, who is perfect and who knows everything, that even he has the time where he feels sadness and grief and questions. My God, why have you forsaken me? Why are you so far from saving me, so far from the words of my groaning? Oh my God, I cry out by day, but you do not answer. He knew that you'd have to pay this price for us because he loved us. But in the time that he's suffering and literally the weight of the world is on him, he allows himself to feel that. He allows himself to feel those deep feelings and cry out, why have you forsaken me? Why have you left me? Why now am I alone in this? And so reading these, at least the ones I read today, David and Jesus and many others show us that it's okay to feel these feelings, and our diligence and our obedience to reach out and look to God for help in these times that aren't great just makes our worship stronger. It makes it honest. It makes it real. It makes it necessary. Life is obviously going to throw us crazy things. I'm 25 and I know I haven't experienced a lot of what God has in store for me. Whether that's good, bad, whatever, I am okay with it. I will welcome whatever that is, because I know there's a purpose for happiness. There's a purpose for pain. I hope that when you guys are having a tough time or overwhelmed by sadness or anger or grief or whatever that may be, I hope that you will look to God or one of the leaders or someone that you trust to kind of allow yourself to ask questions. You know, there's nothing wrong with asking for help, whether it's to one of us, leaders, or someone else that you trust. You can ask questions about God and say, I don't understand this. And that person can walk alongside you and help you in that.
So, what did you think? Pretty good, right? See, I knew you'd love it because Katie is awesome. And what I really love about this is that Katie had a chance to share her heart. And here's what's amazing is that, you know, we are all in kind of this season of difficulty, right? You know, we're unable to be with our friends. We're not going to school. For some of us, our sports seasons have been canceled, or maybe they've come to an abrupt end, or maybe now they're being postponed. But there's a lot of things going on right now that just makes life kind of, you know, And what I love about tonight's message and what Katie was sharing is that even in these times when it's been difficult, we can still worship. And worship doesn't have to be, you know, all of that feel-good stuff that we sometimes associate with, you know, how we're supposed to approach God. You know, God is big enough, and He loves us enough that He welcomes us. He welcomes us even when it's difficult, even when we're struggling to say good things, even when our emotions, our feelings, our thoughts, even when they're all mixed up and chaotic. It's okay for us to come to God. And I love that the Psalms are this mix of great things that God has done, but also the Psalms hold, those more difficult times. And it just shows us that in difficult times, we can still worship God. In fact, I would even go as far as to say, God really welcomes us, and He invites us that in the midst of these difficult times, that we come to Him. And so I want to encourage you guys, as you move through this season, we don't know how long this is going to be that we're going to be doing things virtual, but as we move through this time, can we be looking for the things that we're both struggling with and the things that we want to celebrate? And can we bring them both to God? After tonight's done, we're not going to have small group discussion tonight. Instead, go over to the website, C3StudentsOnline.com, and click on the link for tonight's week 3 of the Anthem series. And what you're going to find there is what we're calling Grow on Your Own. You see, we've listed some of the scriptures, one of them, some of the ones that Katie shared, but some other ones as well. And we've given you some tools and some ideas for how you might begin to process through some of this. To take your difficulties, your laments, your frustrations, your sadness, and bring it before God as a form of worship. And so I really want to encourage you, if you're struggling with something this week, that you take the time and you work through this exercise. Everything's all spelled out on the website. We encourage you maybe to get a notebook, or maybe grab some paper and staple it together and fold it in half and create a book that you can journal some of your thoughts in. I know I'm a journaler. I take my prayer time and I do a lot of journaling, and it's really helpful for me to kind of process through things as I pray and give them to God. And we want to encourage you to do that as well. But go to the website and go to the page for Anthem Week 3 and work through this material. And we want to challenge you to really kind of, set the time aside to do it well. To spend some time in God's Word, to spend some time in prayer, and to spend some time listening to God. If things were different, we would be in small groups and you'd be having this conversation together. But we're not. But we can still grow. We can still challenge each other. We can still be there for each other. And these Grow on Your Own materials are there to help you do that. All right, everyone, that's going to about do it for us tonight. Thank you again for joining us here at C3 Students Online. Next week, we will be right back here on YouTube with another episode of C3 Students Online, so come back and join us next week. And of course, you want to make sure that you're following us on the website, C3StudentsOnline.com. You're hanging out with us on Instagram or on Facebook. You'll find us at C3StudentsWheeling. And just come and connect with us and stay in touch. And hopefully we'll be back to doing in-person small groups really, really soon. But in the meantime, remember that we love you guys. We're praying for you and we're here for you. You don't have to be in this season by yourself. Just reach out to us. Reach out to your small group leader. Let them know what's going on so that we can be here for you. All right, guys, that's going to do it. We'll see you next Tuesday night. In the meantime, hang in there, stay home, be safe, and we love you. Bye.